Hello and welcome to Somewhat Unbiased. And today I want to talk about two games. Today, Iron Man VR for the PlayStation 4, as well as The Last of Us 2, has been delayed. And the reason is the true reason, I believe, is not because of what's going on out there with the COVID 19. It has to do with the studio that's making the game. And if you guys know about the studio, it's Naughty Dog, obviously, and they have a huge issues with crunch. Crunch is when companies decide that they need their workers to work long hours with a shit ton of overtime and they barely get any time off or whatever. So they would make them work like 12, 13 hours or however long they need them to work, and they might not be able to see their family, and that just creates a bunch of issues within the company. And Naughty Dog has been doing this for years, even with The Last of Us 2. They've been doing this as well with it, and that is the reason I believe that this game is being delayed, because all their other games seems to be on the roadmap. Final Fantasy is going to be releasing on April 10th. It's right around the corner, and some people have actually gotten their hands on it already. Ghost of Tsushima hasn't been pushed back. A couple of other PlayStation 4 exclusive that hasn't been pushed back. It seems like Naughty Dog is the main issue here. And the other one is Iron Man. I'm not too sure what's the reason why this is getting delayed. They seem to say that Update SAE has made a difficult decision to delay the launch of Last of Us Part 2 and Marvel's Iron Man VR until further notice. Logistically, the global crisis is preventing us from providing the launch experience and our players deserve. That shouldn't be a problem. If they can't get a physical copy, just make it downloadable. No problem at all, and everybody has access to the internet. It's no problem. But the true reason why I think Naughty Dog is delaying this, or Sony apparently is the one that's delaying it, is that whole reason with the crunch. Not everybody wants to stay with the studio because I don't know. I don't want to call it slave labor because they are getting paid for their time. But anyway, let's read this article by Jason Schreier. As all of you guys know that he's well known in the industry. He's been giving us this good stuff. And I think he's the one that wrote this one as well too, about the crunch nature over there in Naughty Dog. Alright, the most anticipated post-apocalyptic adventure game, The Last of Us 2, will be delayed indefinitely due to the coronavirus pandemic, publisher Sony said today. The game, which had been previously scheduled for May 2019, is nearly done and ready to go. Naughty Dog developer told Kotaku this afternoon that this was a decision made for logistical and economic reasons. I do not believe that for 1 second at all. I do believe it's because they're running through their people, and the fact that this whole thing is happening, it doesn't help either. The good news is we're nearly done with development of The Last of Us Part 2. I'm sorry for interrupting. At this late stage, the game is already done. Everything should be put in place already. This is the part where maybe they're polishing the game before it ships out, because we're literally like right around the corner. It's in April and they were supposed to be releasing in May. By that time, all that, discs or whatever has been shipped out or whatever that they have to do. I'm not too sure about. I don't know a lot about game development, but I'm just saying, like, all that stuff should be done already. The game is done, especially when you're like a month and a couple days, ready to launch. Naughty Dog said in a statement this afternoon, however, even with us finishing the game, we were faced with reality that due to logistics beyond our control, we couldn't launch The Last of Us 2 to our satisfaction. We want to make sure everyone gets to play The Last of Us 2 around the same time, ensuring that we're doing everything possible to preserve the best experience for everyone. This meant delaying the game until such a time where we can resolve the logistic issues. I don't believe you. Naughty Dog's employees, like most at video game companies across the world, are currently working from their homes in order to practice self-isolation. Hopefully you're not working them to death like you've been doing at their office. A recent Kotaku investigation looked at the culture of crunch surrounding Naughty Dog and the development of The Last of Us 2. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I think this has something to do with the studio alone and has nothing to do with Sony. I'm just saying that it's because of the crunch nature that they've been doing over there. They're just wearing their employees thin. You know, nobody wants to stay in that kind of company. I wouldn't want to stay there where I'm forced to work a certain amount of hours before I can go home or see my family. And then if you don't stay and work, that's frowned upon. So if you ever decide to, like, if you want to move up in the company, your chances are going to be very slim to get that promotion because you haven't been putting in the hours. If you're only putting in the just the recommended amount, which is like 8 hours or so, and everybody else is doing like 12, 13, 14 hours, you know, and then you want to get that promotion, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. They will not give it to you because they feel like you're not dedicated enough for the cause. As one of Naughty Dog developer recently told me this game is really good, but at huge cost to the people. Even in an industry where overtime is unique, but I can't say that. Uniquity is, I can't say it. Well, it's impossible to find a game that isn't the result of weeks or months of crunch. Naughty Dog stands out. Its games, including the Uncharted Adventure series, 2013 groundbreaking The Last of Us, are widely considered among the best of the best, with ultra-realistic graphical fidelity and the type of meticulous details you wouldn't see in other games. Shooting a sack of grain in Uncharted 4 would cause the sack to deflate as barley poured out of it. Shining a flashlight at Ellie's face in The Last of Us led to a blink and turn away. Those details exist because Naughty Dog has built a culture of perfectionism where games have to be great no matter the human cost. See, that's not fair. I'm not saying it's not. You're getting compensated for the time, but you shouldn't be forced to do this. This is not how you treat your employees. And that's why they've been going through a lot of employees because of this reason alone. It's the crunch. You know, nobody want to stay. They do try to care of providing food, encouragement to go take breaks, said one former developer, but for the most part, the implication is get the job done at all cost. So, at all costs, which means you're not going to be able to see your wife, your kids. If you have them, you will have no social life. All you do is work, and work some more. But you're getting compensated for your time, but it's just not worth it. So some developers have just kind of like quit and gone somewhere else after it's done. Some people like the way that they run the company. I, for one, would not want to work for that kind of company, especially that just kind of like grind you out, and you get sick of it. You lose the passion because you gotta have passion on what you do, and some of these developers probably will lose their passion for video games and art and all that other stuff because of this company alone. I'm not saying boycott, but it is your money. You can do whatever it is at the end of the day. Nobody can tell you what to do with your own money. Now, for Iron Man 2, I was actually super excited for this VR game. If it eventually comes out, I will get it. Other than that, I guess the only game that I'm going to be purchasing is going to be the Final Fantasy VII and Ghost of Tsushima. Those are the two games that I'm going to be getting. And yeah, I think that's it. But anyways, this is somewhat unbiased. Sorry for this long video, and I hope you enjoy it and are entertained. Again, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and make a comment if you like. And if you want me to talk about a certain subject, I'm all for it. Until then, have a good and safe night. Alright, make sure you guys stay home, watch your Netflix, Hulu, or learn something. You know, do whatever you gotta do to keep your mind going, because I know this is a very tough time for all of us. Alright, stay safe, guys. Have a good one. Bye.